we're not gonna make it to Aunt Patty's. Dad, hello, we're not gonna make it to Aunt Patty's.
We hear about this Aunt Patty a couple of times, but we never meet her. And considering how close Italian families are, you'd think we would have seen this Patty at one point or another.
I cannot wait until she goes off to college.
All right, so you can be fucked up with the empty nest syndrome and go on Wellbutrin like your sister.
And it's embarrassing. I spend most of my time upstairs.
Wellbutrin.
She has empty nest syndrome. When all of your children leave the house, when they go away to college, move out, etc. So not only is this Aunt Patty missing, but also cousins. Cousins of Meadow and AJ. It just adds another question mark.
I think a movement from below is not palatable to the other bosses. It's what they fear most. But there's differences between this and Castellano. Yes, you still got the four other families who could raise a stink. But Andy's my brother-in-law. I have their ear.
But the only brother-in-law of Johnny's that we see on the show...
As far as that thing goes, the coffee with the chicory? Oh, shit. I suck at talking like this, John. I'm sorry.
But this other brother-in-law?
John Sacramone, my friend. I'm sorry to say was an insecure guy. And he created a constant tension within his own family which spilled over.
In Season 5, Episode 2, Rat Pack, see Ray Curto, a rat, talking with the FBI agents. And then we also hear on tape Jack Masserone's conversation with Tony from the diner. One thing that I have questions about is this guy that's wheeling around papers to be signed to the different offices, and we see that he kind of just hangs around for a little bit after he gets the signatures. You wonder, is he trying to listen in, get some information?
The sound quality is amazing. Give it to Angela and shut the door.
It makes me start to think about all those people that slip under the radar, that get this inside information, like Sill's girl, the grand jury, and Karen's sister that worked at the courthouse.
Well, he ain't been to the grand jury, because we would have heard from our girl up there. Hey, Sil. I'm here with Bobby. He just got a call from Jenna. Oh? Karen's sister?
Works in the courthouse.
George.
Let's talk about George. Yes, we know there are other families in the background, and likely hundreds and hundreds of guys that do exist, but that we don't meet in the Sopranos world. But still, I can't help but be curious.
Anybody want a water?
No, nah. Go ahead, Carmine. George was good enough to broker this meeting for us.
Is he like another version of Angelo Greppi, who just takes his grandson to the park and gets ice cream and weighs in only when needed? Or does he play a more active role?
Doesn't have to be 9 to 5. You can still take your grandson to the park. Things get heavy, you're just another voice to weigh in. You're not part of that family. You're basically retired. Everybody trusts you.
Whatever ended up happening with Furio? Yes, I know that Tony says he left a message for the Bing at 4 in the morning that he was going back to Italy, and he went back to Italy. But did he really? Obviously, we'll never know the answer. But it does beg the question, when you think about other times that Tony said that people have just disappeared, like Ralph, for example. Plus, the next day when Carmela shows up to his house and sees it completely empty. I mean, that was a quick turnaround time for moving out.
No, I wanted to thank you. That friend of your husband's came by the office. We got the listing.
Which friend? Who?
Furio Gunther? Is that how you say it?
In Pax Soprana, Tony makes a toast to Junior, the new boss. And then we see this guy, John. And I ask myself, was John perhaps undercover? Or was John just a civilian? I was surprised by how seemingly not careful they were acting around the presence of strangers and outsiders.
know if the old man were here, instead of in that cell in Springfield. He'd say, Raymond, this is your moment.
You're the boy wonder. Both him and Jackie both had you picked from day one.
You got the age, you got the seniority.
I also got an 18-year-old with MS, okay?
If the old man were here, instead of in that cell in Springfield. He'd say, Raymond, this is your moment.
Go easy with the grease gun, okay?
Meanwhile, Tony says that old man DiMeo wanted Ray Curto to be the next boss. So, what did old man DiMeo really think? And then, of course, there's the irony of Tony telling Ray that he doesn't want to be boss because he doesn't want to wire up his ass. Well, Ray didn't seem to have much of a problem with having a wire up his ass later on.
You just don't want to wire up your ass. You don't want the headache. So if you got any doubts or reservations, now is the time to say so. No one will think any less of you. Because once you enter this family, there's no getting out. Then God forbid, if you get sick or something happens and you can't earn, we'll take care of you, because that's part of it.
At Eugene and Christopher's making ceremony, Tony tells them, and God forbid, if something happens and you can't earn, we'll take care of you, because that's part of it. And that would presumably include his immediate family as well. But after Eugene dies, do they take care of his family? I mean, financially? Or was it just kind of a cold cut? We don't know. It seems like that was kind of a key component of this speech Tony gave, but do they actually see any of it later on?
That mouth of yours. You gotta learn to shut the fuck up.
How far is it to Atlantic City?
What the fuck?
Is it possible this fuck made it out of here alive?
It's hard to say. Flesh wound, maybe. Headshot, I don't know. On the other hand, anything's possible.
Fuck it. Let's go home.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.